I've got a quick question, which is this. It's a topic that I noticed a lot of people on talk shows have discussed, but I thought I'd get your take on it. You're someone who, when caPs was at his peak, would obviously have waxed lyrical with us about incredible he is, and he can do all these things that the other players can't do. And, he is the player in the West that looked, just think of even 2020 Worlds. He was the one Western player that looked like, holy shit, even like the Korean mid laner might be like, fuck, I could get wrecked if I don't watch out this game. I haven't seen that caPs for a while now, mate. And in this particular G2, it looks like if we don't see that caPs again, they don't look like they're necessarily going to win the LEC. They might just be a good team, right?
Yeah, definitely. It's been a while. Like I feel like that super caPs is what's going to be required, but I feel like the era of that is like it's like the pool of what he's playing against is tough. It's like we have humanoid, there's going to be Perkz, and it's not going to be like super easy to just 1v9 games like he did at one point. I have a hard time.
It's the thing, Yamato. You either die in Inter or you live to see yourself become a mid lane mage player under your tower getting that 4 extra CS. Everyone becomes Froggen in the end. You all like to laugh now until your favourite player becomes Froggen, till Bjergsen becomes Froggen, till they all become Froggen and the Perkz. They're all Froggen in the end, mate. Or they're like boy Kerps. Perkz is still inting. That's what I like about him. He hasn't totally given up. He knows that LeBlanc is both the path to an int or win the game. That's what I like about Perkz.
It's great that you say that, because like when we played caPs, right, in the best of 5 last year, he turned into that. At one point he was just picking Orianna and just hugging his turret.
I know, it's wild, isn't it?
It's crazy how true it is.
Oh man. The other thing is just the meta has just shifted into those like wave clear control mages, or
see everyone gangster until that first pick Orianna comes in. Then not so much. Then not so much, sir.
I was looking up LPL, and Orianna has like a 70+% win rate there now too, which is just not what you want to see out of LPL. Low key, very very powerful pick in one of the best regions in the world so far.
As this damn TP change allows these champs to be in lane for 15 minutes without making anyone feel bad about it.
See, there are definitely some downsides, I think, to the TP changes. I mean, they've been trying to scale back on some of the assassins in general, and like, I guess I still pine for more of these like team fight oriented champions rather than the delete everyone in 1 second champions, because I just don't think that's very interactive gameplay personally.
You want to say who isn't picked that you'd like to see?
Well, right. No, I mean, I'm happy. That's what I'm saying. I'm happy with the way things are right now.
Okay, right.
I like seeing the control mages because
sure.
Yeah, it's more of a bring. I don't like seeing a lot of the assassins, because the way the game has gone has been like these champions get slightly ahead and then literally nobody can survive even tanks more than 1 second, and I don't find that very fun to watch.
That's gotten to the point where when Riot introduces a new champion with dashes, you almost think it's like an Onion version of what a Riot like announcement. Because the joke is you've got like 2 spells in and you're like, that's not even the ult. What the fuck? And it's like, and then the passive is you just get 100 health every 4 seconds for no reason. And you're like, what the fuck is going on like that? It's like the old ship, the most busted stuff of all time. You'd think it would be like at this point, I think they genuinely are. It's like a put on. The people who designed the champions really are just like, let's see if I can sneak this shit out. It's OP as fuck. And they're just trying to like sneak it out under the factory line before like quality control comes in. Like, whoa, is that got a free flash? Get that off E right now. Dude, get it off now.
The funniest shit, and like it just goes to show how difficult balancing this game has become, because the unintended uses of things are just through the roof. Like the fucking chem tank Akali is just, what the fuck?
I know.
What the fuck is
gross,
that? You're just flying around getting the chem tank charged up, and it's just so terrible.
Mate, I'll even be a hater. Even that Diana, where like, even though it looked sick when El Yoya did it, it was like, how many gap clauses has this fucking got? 7 gap clauses. And he got killed. What is this? Like that, dude. That was like, if everyone's a jungler, they were like, sick player. Everyone who plays the other roles was like, that's like my nightmare caption on fucking HD, and everyone's applauding it. Like, delete that? Get it out of the game. How am I supposed to play any of the normal champions against that shit? You've only got 1 flash. What am I supposed to do?
What I appreciate about some of these.
game.
What I appreciate about some of these items is they actually like made champions like Udyr and Hecarim like playable at the professional level, which is their intended purpose, right? And selfishly, as an Udyr and Hecarim player, because I'm old and have no reactions, like I appreciate that I can play these champions because I fucking suck at mechanics. Do you know what I mean? But at the pro level, it's like they don't think, and it's the same shit that happened with the RIP Chemtech Drake. We'll remember you not fondly at all, horribly, in fact. But it's like you put this in the game and you don't even think about Rengar. Like, how is that error possible to be made? Like, how did this pass? Like, do you have no one there who knows all of the champion abilities in the game and like how zero brushes affect these champions and their viability? It's nuts to me.
I do appreciate it though. Like, we've got this weird dynamic now where apparently breaking news can just enter the fourth wall of this show and start. Got breaking news. Like as though there's going to be so many insight in like 2089. Like, in tragic news. Unfortunately, we were told that Freak passed away in his bed, surrounded by his loved ones. And a tribute to him. The game will never be the same without him, Monty. I passed it over now to a short highlights package in which we'll remember the best moments of Freak and his great puns at the World Championship. On this day, we all mourn collectively. Like, is this what someone? It's going to become.
We had to talk about it. We had to talk about it on the show because it's super important. Actually, it's super. That one was super important to talk about immediately. Because here's what's going to happen. Everybody is going to be like, "Did you talk about the Chemtech Drake changes?" And I'm like, "Well, I can actually fix that problem right now." So
that's almost as good though, Monty, is when I do my reflections interviews, which are clearly everyone in the world should know. I just cut it in half. And after part one, people start messaging me, I hope in part two, you should ask him in part two about this. It's like, well, I can't do that, can I? It's already been recorded in the past. Like, listen, you're making some great points, but like, I can't do that, can I? It's not freshly recorded, but it's just cut in half. So that's it. Ugh.
Didn't they, Yamato, I haven't actually seen this interaction, but I was talking to somebody about it. So I'm curious your take on this. Cause like, this is just another example of, I could be wrong. I'm going to say this up front. Another example of like Riot not thinking about unintended consequences, which is that because of the Chemtech fog being categorized as camouflage in the game, right? And then they changed Rengar. Now the interaction with the Senna fog allows him to like repeatedly jump in and out of the Senna fog. Yes. And like it's just like another like unintended circumstance that is just ultra abusable.
Honestly, I feel like this works, right? You can jump you could just jump with Rengar out of Senna. Like it works, right? It just, I feel like a lot of the changes, it's like, I remember when they just added a bunch of blast cones, there's blast cones, vision plants, just someone's spreading their seed all over the rift. There's plants everywhere. And it's just, I don't think they have enough manpower to like think of every single circumstance, so they just throw some shit in there and just holy shit, like, oh, people are complaining about this, so let's fix this fast.
Here's the thing, Yamato. There are only so many abilities with camouflage in the game, right? And I think all of them except for Senna's Black Mist only affect the champion that is using camouflage. So therefore, all you have to do is look at like the 9, somewhere around there, like 10-ish champions off the top of my head that have camouflage. And then you're like, well, this one could affect Rengar. And you're like, maybe we should do that. The game is enormously complicated, right? It's what happens when you get to 160 champions in this game, but it is just wild.
No, I'm with you, of course. Like it's silly that like, it's always about like what are people most vocal about? It's like, that's why like 80% of the champs that are released are just ninjas that are just dashing around, just killing people. It goes back to the World of Warcraft model. It's like, I remember back in vanilla, 60-70% of the player base, it was just rogues. Everyone wanted to be a ninja that could kill someone, get out, just be a cool ninja with cooldowns. And then the rest of the player base is just people that hate rogues. And that is just, that's what they cater to. So it's like they release, like the Seri, the champion, is just dashing, 5k move speed, is just running around the whole map. It's a cool ninja. And then occasionally they're like, okay, you guys hate ninjas? Here's Vex. she's very good against these ninjas. And that's like the only thing that they cater to is just we need to create more ninjas. We need to create more cool shit that makes you dash around the whole map and just do crazy stuff.
By the way, anime ruined the world because remember what ninjas were like before Naruto? Remember how they were just silent assassins that relied on stealth and subterfuge and disguise in order to kill people? Not having they're just fucking wizards now, guys. They're not fucking ninjas. They're just wizards. Okay? Everything can't be a wizard. It's not cool anymore.
That's true. It's just I know that Riot's philosophy in terms of making new champions is like they always want to implement some new kind of mechanic. And at some point, it's like you're gonna implement some mechanics that just fuck with something else in the game. It's like when Ivan was created, it's like he makes bushes. How cool is that? And then once again, Rengar comes around, it's like just jumps out of those bushes, just fucks the whole game up. You know, it's always some crossover. It's like something in the game. And there's always the champions that no one's vocal about just remain fucked. They're in some corner. No one gives a shit about. It's like Aurelion Sol. You have like some guy on Reddit, it's like 2 upvotes, like Aurelion Sol is not the good champ.
I think Aurelion Sol is cool as a concept too. It actually makes me sad that he's not used more.
Remember, Monty, one of the only explicit ninjas, Shen, is just nothing like any of those things. Doesn't have any super just garbage in he's just a guy who flashes in like, come get me, and that's like all he does. That's his whole move.
That was always the fucking joke, dude, in League of Legends, is that they don't actually know what ninjas are, because Shen was designed as a taunt tank, which is like and then also the old item ninja tabbies were designed to get auto attacked. Like they literally don't fucking know what ninjas
the Swifties, you obviously, you idiots. I know exactly. It doesn't make any sense at all, does it?
It wasn't like, I don't know. It's just so funny. Actually, to be fair to Ninja Tabbies, they did used to have a dodge percentage, which is why, but they were changed, and then they
Jax was just OP as fuck, wasn't he? Remember, that's another thing. One thing I'll give them credit for, the developers, when they took out that dodging mechanic that made Jax just like a living nightmare to play against. I mean, to be fair, it was bad for Yamato. That was like his main champion or something, but it was fucking garbage, wasn't it? Where you just like, it was like just randomly calculated. No, that actually you didn't hit him there. Like, what the fuck's this? What counterplay do I have to dodge? What am I supposed to do? Those are dark times. Want to see more cool, funny, interesting clips based on topics from my content? Well, subscribe to this channel then, or, be a pleb and don't.